Senior Living Today, brought to you by these fine sponsors: Wires Inc., First Class Realty, Triangle East, and Ward Specialty Pharmacy.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Senior Living Today. It has been a tremendously quick week. I hope you and your family have had a blessed week. Sun's out, cool mornings. We're going to get right into the show. Something interesting has happened this week. We had a young lady call and ask, Joey, at the office you have there, do you ever run across a situation where people ask you where they can acquire oxygen? My husband has to carry 2 and 3 tanks of oxygen wherever he goes. Well, the team did a little research. We don't sponsor, we don't give ideas, but this is for the young lady that I know you're listening and anyone else that is tied to an oxygen tank or what have you. This little device is called Inogen, INOGEN.com. Inogen. It's portable oxygen. It's about the size, weight-wise, as a quart of milk. You can wear it as a fanny pack. You can put it over your shoulder. It makes it easy for FAA approved, let alone doing travel abroad. Maybe a cruise, and you know we've had those folks on here as well. But we hope it helps. If your pencil's ready, I'll do it twice. Inogen, INOGEN, portable oxygen. Telephone number, 800-449-0756. 800-449-0756. I hope that helps. Last little point, Cheryl, Jimmy, want to bring in, and it's all again, here we go praising you again. Don't y'all just get tired of compliments? Oh my word, Cheryl, Jimmy. Had a gentleman walk in, knock on the door, comes in the office, and he's carrying a bag. He looks at Mr. Brazel and says, we saw you on TV. We like what you say, and here is everything I have. My homeowners, my health, my life insurance, all of the above. Is that correct, Cheryl?
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
So Cheryl looks at him and says, how'd you hear about us? We watched you on Senior Living Today. And the gentleman that was sitting to your left, which is Mr. Brazel, we trust him, and we're going to give him a chance. Folks, we thank you for that. That's why we're here. That's why we talk about oxygen and travel and everything else. It does what? It deals with senior living today. And that's what this program is about. Now today, last but least, we had a bunch of phone calls come in and want to get our guest back because there was a lot of questions on an MSA. Now we'll stop there. I'm not even going to go in and steal their thunder, but it's called an MSA. And before we get into that, it's going to be a quick show. Stay tuned and make sure you watch closely. Cheryl, we couldn't do this without our folks, but let alone who pays the bills. Who is our sponsors?
Yes, our sponsors. First Class Realty, Triangle East. They're located in the Mills Complex. Brett Hill is the managing broker. Great, knowledgeable people, great staff there. So be sure and go by and see them for your real estate help. Patrick Ignacio operates Ward Specialty Pharmacy across the street from the Harris Teeter. And from personal experience this week, I can tell you that Patrick also compounds your pharmaceutical needs for your pet.
Really?
Yes, sir. We have a dog, Molly, who is about 8 or 9 years old now.
Yeah, beautiful
and
dog.
Evidently, she broke my wife says she broke her knee. I still haven't figured out where a dog has a knee. But
live and learn.
You live and learn. But Patrick made a compound of CBD oil in treats, in dog treats. And so that's what we're...
So you're just giving them to them?
Yeah.
Is it helping?
Well, today's first day, man. We just got them today. So, Patrick felt pretty good about them, that they would solve a lot of her issues.
Kudos to Ward's Pharmacy.
Great for those guys. And we also have Brian West at Wires Inc. They're the guys who will pretty up your vehicle. And as y'all well know, I talk about Brian has an $80,000 pickup truck and I have an $800 pickup truck. But they both need a good bed liner. And these guys do that. They can fix your stereo in your vehicle. Do they call them stereos now? I don't even know. It's been a while.
Music.
The music box. And great, all your accessories to your vehicle, heated seats, remote start, all that. They can take care of it for you. So please, patronize our folks every chance you get.
Oh, being local. And Cheryl, you threw me one right before.
Yes.
You want to do it?
It's a go right ahead. Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's West Ridge Grill. Now, they're located right across the street from Ward's Pharmacy. Family environment, music, great food, great people. Mike does a great job over there. He's getting ready to open another one right over in Nashville.
Nashville, that's right.
So that'll be the second. We're going to encourage you. If you want a good meal, go out and see Mike over at West Ridge. They do a great job, but I like the idea it's a family environment. Now, we're going to get started. Without those sponsors, please make sure you shop local. Makes a big difference.
Yep.
Cheryl, I told them, MS, I'm not going to get into it, not going to steal you guys' thunder.
Right.
Cheryl, you want to introduce who's here tonight?
Yes, sir. The owner of WHIG, Sandra, called me one morning and says, who's that guy you had on that talked about that plan? She said, we had people calling in and asking specifically about that, can he come back? And so, ta-da, we have with us Jimmy Boksh this evening, back with us, and we're going to be talking about a Medicare medical savings account. Just some really, general information about how these accounts work. If you want specifics, guess what? It's that time of year, October the 15th.
December 7th.
December the 7th
Yes,
is the annual enrollment period. That's when you can come in and make changes in your Medicare products, your drug plan, your Medicare Advantage plans, and this is one of the plans that you can enroll in during this period of time. And, this is something that's been around for 16, 17 years.
That's right.
Yeah. And it's just new to North Carolina. This is literally the second year that it's been available here. And I am really intrigued by this program. I like the way it looks, and I think it has a place. This is definitely a product that a certain type of individual is going to take advantage of.
I totally agree. And having Jimmy here, Cheryl, gosh, ladies and gentlemen, by popular demand, Mr. Brazel and I we don't even get that kind of hoopla, that kind of tell it, we need to see y'all again. So congratulations.
Thank
you
you.
did something and told something to the audience.
Thank you.
What we call the senior living group today is very, very critical. Cheryl, is there a situation that you want to start, Jimmy, or does Jimmy just want to take it away? And what have you got planned?
Well, I just want to thank you guys for joining us this evening. It's been a joy working with Cheryl, working with Joey, and discussing the MSA product. We just believe it is going to be such an incredible choice that every senior has all over North Carolina for 2022. We really, really believe that.
Now, Jimmy, let me interrupt something. You said MSA, sorry, but for our audience, Cheryl, you probably know this. What does MSA stand for?
So the letters MSA stand for Medicare Savings Account.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And this is available in all 100 counties in North Carolina.
Yes, that's correct. It's available all over the state of North Carolina. It's a plan that you definitely want to call Joey and you want to call Cheryl to learn more about. They have all the details for you. But again,
what makes this thing a little bit different, Jimmy, than some, say, the other? Cheryl talked about Medicare Advantage. You've got a couple of bullet points. I hate to say, even talking, but we go to a commercial here in a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Can you touch on just a little bit, because Cheryl's got you some definitive questions. What makes it a special plan?
What makes the MSA, there are several things that make it very special, but one of them that really stands out to a lot of seniors when they hear about it is that it has no network. Most of, or all of, the Medicare Advantage plans have a network. The Medicare Savings Account plan allows you to go to any Medicare provider, whether you're in North Carolina or you're traveling on vacation to Florida or Montana, wherever you are in the U.S., you can visit any Medicare provider and you're not tied to a network.
That's special.
Yeah,
That's huge.
That's a huge deal.
And I'm sure you know what a network is. You're tied into a circle of doctors, and you can't go outside of that. Or, Cheryl, does it cost more when you go outside of your network?
Yes. It would.
Okay, then
It
that's a
would.
viable
Yeah.
point of what you're saying, Jimmy.
And we have, Joey and I have been doing our homework, and we've gone out, and I've met with two of the major medical practices here in Nash County, and just, point blank asked them and said, hey, I'm on Medicare, I'm a Medicare recipient, and I'm looking at this plan for myself. Do y'all take this?
And so you've got access to everything.
Right.
And this would be a plan
Yeah.
that you'd be interested in.
And, and I asked, the insurance department in each of these locations, do you work with this particular plan or with Medicare savings plans in general? And, yes, these are Medicare Advantage plans. This is the insurance person talking to me. These are Medicare Advantage plans. We take Medicare Advantage plans. So you come in and we bill them and we're good to go.
I have a lady that travels to see her daughter in Texas. We are not fortunate yet in Virginia to have what you guys are going to have for 2022 in regards to the choice of enrolling in a Medicare savings account. But I have my neighbor has a daughter that lives in Texas, and she'll go and visit her for the summer. She'll stay for 3 months, but she has a network that she has to stay in. Well, if we had this in Virginia, she would not have that worry of not having a network. So I can't wait till we get this in Virginia. You guys are very, very fortunate to have this in North Carolina. But think about people that you might know that have relatives outside of the state and they go and visit them. This is a plan that gives them medical freedom wherever they go.
Good point. Good point. Would you say there's a difference, Cheryl and I were talking, between a Medicare Advantage and a Medicare savings account?
Yeah, well, one of the biggest differences is another one outside of there not being a network is the out-of-pocket. The Medicare saving account plans generally have a much lower out-of-pocket than the standard Medicare Advantage plans, as low as $3,000 lower than probably what a lot of you guys may have now.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something that, in my research and studying this product, the thing that I liked, or one of the points that I really like in this is the fact that you have the Medicare savings account and you purchase along with that a standalone prescription drug plan. And somebody's like, why is that a plus? Our office, we market Medicare supplement plans, we market Medicare Advantage plans.
Absolutely.
Depends on what that client, what their needs are and what is the best fit for them. And, there are a lot of great points about Medicare Advantage plans, but to me, the tough point for Medicare Advantage has always been prescription drug coverage.
True. It's very true.
I've always, that was where if there was a weak point, that's where I felt like it was in the prescription drug coverage. And so I like the fact that I can purchase an individual prescription drug plan, because there are beaucoup numbers of prescription drug plans out there, and you can buy the one that fits the prescriptions that you have.
Now, how would they know, by talking to you at statewide, here local, how would they know that they're getting the right plan? Is there some way of defining that? Is there a formulary? How does that work, Cheryl?
Yes, sir. We getting ready to go to break?
Lord, he just came and I'm so into this, folks, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're going to be right back after short commercial break. Cheryl's going to tell you about the PDP, and Jimmy's going to answer your last questions. Stay tuned. Have your pencil and paper ready. We'll be right back.
Senior Living Today, brought to you by these fine sponsors: Wires Inc., First Class Realty, Triangle East, and Ward Specialty Pharmacy. The annual enrollment period for your Medicare needs and changes is coming soon, October 15th through December 7th. Locally owned with over 75 years experience, Statewide Insurers Group provides the knowledge and expertise needed to ensure you find the proper Medicare coverage right for you.
Relationships matter. Call Statewide Insurers Group today for the answers you need now. Call us at 252-316-8166.
Welcome back, folks. Senior Living Today here. Gosh, what a great Tuesday we had. We're going to pick right up where we left off due to time. Cheryl was talking about prescription drug plans and the difference. So many of you you've had them. So many in a Medicare Advantage come with a prescription drug plan.
Right.
But let's say your medication changes. How do you work through that during the year? Cheryl, we're going to throw it to you. You want to pick up where we left off on prescription drug?
We were talking about having the Medicare savings account, and when you have this account, you have to purchase a standalone prescription drug plan.
True.
I like that option just for the simple fact that you can customize the plan that you need for your prescriptions. How do we know that? How can we do that? We have an agreement with the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services. There's a little computer program we're able to run that I can put in your prescriptions and your county that you live in, your zip code that you're in, and it will tell me every single prescription plan that's available, how much it's going to cost you to own the plan, how much it's going to cost you each month in copays. And the good news is I can tell you for the entire year, if it goes into the donut hole and all those good things that happen later on in the year, it tells you pretty closely to what your cost is going to be.
Cheryl, I got a question.
Yeah.
If you're saying that it shows you all of the prescription drug plans, maybe I'm confused, please make it clear to me. Let's say Joey has 6 medications,
right,
and I give them to you. You stick it in the computer. Will it give you, say, the top 5 in your area that focus on your medication, or is it so broad it covers everything? I'm just thinking of how they're thinking. If they have 6 medications, how does that work?
Normally, it gives me the top literally 27 plans that are available to you in your area.
Is that confusing to you and them, or?
Fortunately, I've done it enough to where it doesn't confuse me a whole lot anymore.
Yes.
And I can tell you, okay, Joey, you've got these 5 prescriptions. This is how, here's the printout. In the month of January, this is what your copay is going to be. In February, this is what your copay is going to be. October, November, December.
So for them, for the audience, you sitting at home, it makes it easier for them, for you doing the work.
Yes. Yeah. And, we wish we didn't have to do this, but we do not charge anything for this. It's just something we do, for our clients every year. Come in, and even if you're not a client of ours, we'll run the calculations for you. We'll run the program for you and help you find, what's the best thing out there for you. Because it can make a difference of thousands of dollars in a year in what you might have to have.
Oh, some of the medications with cancer and everything else that's out there, it's no telling the cost factors that you could save a particular client.
And there are other resources, that we know about that we can put you in touch with that will help, especially in these cases where you have some really costly medications, and we, fortunately we had clients of our own who were using these programs, and they brought them to us and said, hey, I just want to let you know that I was able to get these medications for a whole lot less because I went through this service, so now we also make that available to all of our folks when they come in to see us.
That's outstanding news for PDP. Who we got? You going to Jimmy now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We one of the plans, or one of the points in the Medicare savings accounts, the deposit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, tell us about that.
You're smiling. Why are you smiling
Well,
talking to the...
I'm smiling because what I love about the Medicare Savings Account plan, it's the only Medicare Advantage plan that gives you money. The only plan out of all the plans. And so you receive a deposit every year into your personal Medicare savings account. And not only that, but if you don't use any of it, if you don't need it, that money rolls over into the next year.
Now, Jimmy, let me understand something here. They're going to, like Cheryl was just talking about PDP, they're going to give you this, but you have to buy the plan, the MSA plan, Medicare Savings Account. You have to purchase that from, say, somebody like Mr. Brazel at Statewide.
Right.
Then they're going, walk me through it again, just for me, then they're going to do what? After you're holding your paper,
Right.
you're at home, you've got the plan, what happens next?
So after you've received the plan, every member receives a deposit that's given to them by Medicare.
By Medicare?
Yep.
Okay.
It goes into your own personal Medicare savings account. All of that is taken care of. All of that is set up for the member. And you receive a debit card in the mail that has money given to you by Medicare.
And you're able to use that money for what?
Out-of-pocket medical expenses.
Could you give me an example?
A doctor's visit.
Okay.
Visit to your specialist. Visit because maybe you needed some x-rays.
But you can't buy a set of tires or anything like that?
No tires. I'm sorry, no tires.
All
Yeah.
strictly medical. I know
Yep,
it sounds
medical,
funny,
yep.
but everybody at home, you'd be surprised what comes across our desk
Yeah.
at the office. And I just want that clarity to be there. So
Yeah,
using
yep.
it for medical, please continue. You're doing great.
Yep. Using it for medical expenses only. And in addition, the money is tax-free as long as it's used for medical
Right.
expenses.
And this is money that is obviously set in as part of your deductible.
Correct.
In that plan. Yeah.
Yes.
And you can, and that's why we're using it for the medical expenses. That's
Yes.
what it's designed for. And so the great thing is, if I have a deposit, and I know in my reading in general, Medicare savings accounts will have, usually you will get somewhere around a $2,000 deposit for a full year. Is that right? In general terms?
Yeah, in general
And
terms,
so
yeah.
that $2,000 deposit goes towards your complete deductible for the year. And the good news is, if you don't use all of it, you have $1,000 left over, $800 left over, $1,200 left over. That rolls over to next year, so the following January, when you get your new deposit of, example, $2,000, that $1,200 you had left over is now added in with that, so you've now got $3,200.
Then Cheryl, Jimmy, I got a question for the audience. Let's say we do exactly what you just said. We purchased it. The deposit has been made, generally, like you said, $2,000, whatever. Let's say, I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to pull a deductible out of the air. Let's say $5,000, because a lot of your MAs have 65 or more, or what have you. Original Medicares, you've had some. Let's say you had 5,000, and they gave you, hypothetically, gave you 2. To me, that leaves 3. Am I right about that?
That's correct.
What happens after, out of your pocket, let's say I went to surgery, I did whatever, but I got $3,000 left on my deductible. What happens after I've paid that?
Everything would be covered 100% once the deductible is met. After you've used it, everything would be covered.
So that's
100%.
using the $2,000 that you've been given, as Cheryl had said, your $3,000 you paid out of pocket for a total $5,000 deductible. Am I correct on that so far? So you've met all of that, and you're telling the audience, Cheryl, telling the audience that everything is paid for 100% after that?
Yes.
And this plan is called
Yes.
what?
The Medicare Savings Account, MSA.
Jimmy, outstanding.
Yeah, it really is. And I would urge you to reach out to Joey and Cheryl. They have all the details about this program, and it's a fantastic, fantastic program. for everybody to look at this next year.
And Jimmy, I appreciate that head nod, but statewide is right here local, right here in Rocky Mount, 880 Country Club Road. And instead of me, I want you to reach out to Mr. Cheryl Braswell there. He'll guide you through these programs, guide you through all. He's sitting right to my left. Jimmy, as a specialist, comes in here and tells you exactly what's in this plan. Gentlemen, we've got 3 minutes left. I know it's been a quick 30 minutes, but can you do a recap of what you're speaking of, Cheryl? And then Cheryl's going to throw it to Jimmy to where we bring this thing to a close, because, folks, I'm sorry, I've not heard of anything like a MSA. It might have been out there for 17 years, like you said, Cheryl, in other states, but we haven't had it. I think you had said this is the second year that we've had it.
Here, yeah.
So if you're interested in what this is, let's hear the closing remarks from Cheryl and Jimmy.
These are the things that got my attention with this particular program. I like the fact that I'm not restricted to a particular network.
Big point.
So I do not worry at all if I'm in Tennessee or Texas,
Like you said.
or if I'm here, if I'm in Murphy or Manteo, doesn't make any difference. I can go to a Medicare provider, and ask for their services. Obviously, having the ability to customize my drug plan,
Very important.
having the ability to do that and get the plan that's right for my particular situation. That deposit that comes in there, and this kind of, to me, gives me a little incentive if I'm relatively healthy and don't spend all of that $2,000 example. That rolls over to the next year, and in my little brain, the way I see here is that it's a chance that I could build up enough money in that account that totally covers any out-of-pocket expenses I would have.
That's a great
Yeah.
And the statistics show people that have MSAs last year, 74% of them all had rollovers for the next year. So that means that 74% of the people that were enrolled into an MSA plan had money left over in their account. They did not use it all, and it rolled over to the next year.
Yeah.
Great point. Jimmy, is there anything else? Because I know Cheryl's got a couple of things here on another topic, but in your closing, if you'll take the next 30 seconds or so and kind of bring it to a purse string with our audience, why? And just talk about your product, because you are the expert on this, and I've learned a lot here tonight, Jimmy.
Well,
Please
thank
take
you,
it away.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, for me personally, I love the potential of growth that the MSA plan offers seniors. There's no other Medicare Advantage plan that is going to do that for a senior. And I love the fact that it's the only plan that will give a member money towards their medical expenses, and if they don't use it all, that money can grow from year to year to year. And for some of you out there that are that need long-term care insurance, as soon as your account grows, it can grow to a significant amount where you can even use some of that money to pay for your long-term care premiums. So there's a lot of flexibility in the MSA Medicare Advantage plan that the other plans don't offer.
That's a great point. A great point. Cheryl, anything else that you have, sir?
Just, folks, this is like a lot of different things that are out here in the world. This may not be for you, and it may be the perfect thing for you. Call us, let us talk to you, give you the details, look at your situation, and see if this is the best fit for you or if something else is the best fit.
Folks, I want to tell you, it's, gosh, what a great show tonight. Now I understand why you called in and you asked for what? For Jimmy to come back and answer some of these questions. I want you to remember our sponsors. Please shop locally right here. And when you come by, whether it's statewide or whoever it is in the great city of Rocky Mount, that you shop local. Why do you do that? You have the availability if there's ever a problem, an issue that may come up. What's the first thing you can do? Go right to that person face to face instead of picking up the phone and talking to somebody in wherever. Shop local. We thank you for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you. Jimmy, outstanding job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Cheryl, outstanding job. Folks, be blessed. Have a great week. Be safe out there. And we look forward to seeing you next time on Senior Living Today. Good night.